What is going on out there, ladies and gentlemen? Mhm. Once again, y'all know what time it is. Mr. Soul of a Man 504, aka Edmond Alvarez, coming to you live from these different platforms and all that good stuff. I forgot to go on Instagram. That's okay. I'll catch them next time. But today we're going to talk about the gifted, man, and being gifted and all of that good stuff in your life, and knowing that you are not the only one out there that is gifted, and whatever you're gifted in your life. And man, I should talk about the soul tribe. But anyway, it's mesmerizing being gifted, and if you're if you're gifted at one thing, if you're gifted at multiple things, sometimes you just sit there and you wonder, like, what am I supposed to do with all of this stuff? How do I progress forward? Is there something wrong with me? No, 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 no. There is nothing wrong with you at all. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I was listening to some folks chat about it last night. A gentleman said he knew a guy who could play the piano by ear. He would listen to the song for like 20 minutes or so, and then he could just, play it by ear, and that's another great topic, play it by ear. But the amazing thing with that is that you have something inscribed in you, and you've discovered a hidden talent, or you're discovering hidden talents. And what I wanted to do was talk about being gifted on a spiritual level, and because I really feel and I know that that's something that's not talked about enough, especially like being, maybe if you're a little kid, if you're an adult, and you have a spiritual gift, and let's say your spiritual gifts are intertwined with your like your artistic gifts in a sense. And let's say let's say if you're a singer, you're a poet, you're a composer, you paint, you draw, those things, those things can beautifully help you to shift your balance. If you're a writer, in any sense of the word, but there's so many divinely sent, ancestrally sent, universally sent, however it is you want to, whatever word you want to put on that. What is going on, Lady V? How are you? Man, whatever it is that you want to put on it, but it's it's very it's very thank you. It's amazing, man, when you have these talents and you have to put them together in some kind of way, or something is beckoning you to go out to do something great with those gifts. And it just doesn't sit right until you go forth and you do something amazing. And we're at the point where you're just being classified as different, and you have to naturally now go out there and do something. You may, let's say, okay, let's say if you have these spiritual gifts, and let's say you're able to talk to folks on the other side, like myself. I have that gift. It's one of the many, many, many gifts that I have. But what happens when you don't see anybody else on the landscape out there? You might say, well, there's a female doing it and there's a male doing it, but there's nobody that naturally looks like me. Nobody has they're not me. And I have to be you have to be one of the ones to go out there, to be that breakthrough individual, to go out here and clearly help people with whatever it is, that they need. But, just know that your gifts are going to be cultivated, along the way. um, there are things for me, there are just natural things for me and for you that just come naturally. And so, what happens when, you see a lot of what you can do, but you see like, you see other people doing it that let's say that these people don't look like you, and you don't, uh there's something about it. It's like the broken legacies in a sense of being repaired, and we're being we are, I'll say, we're more now higher beings that are being called to go out here and and put our greatness forward. Man, I would love this young lady to come up. Let's see if she will grace the stage. But it's it's just amazing at the things that we can do now. It's just amazing how our ancestors are stepping forward, and they're making that the vision, they're making the path, they're making the language. Hey, how are you, Miss Ruthie?
Dakota, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I think it was yesterday. I heard you speak on the stage, and it's very rare that I run into. Well, it's very rare that on this journey is so. I'd say it could be lonely at times, but I know that we're never alone. But just to say, it's rare that I run into somebody that's so powerful, that has such a giving heart in a sense, and that has such a, and I know that we're always learning, but that has such a mastery for for what we deem as spirituality, and also when it comes to just dealing with ourselves and with our ancestors. And I could tell that you were that you were very powerful, and like the kids say on the streets, that you were about that life, so to speak.
Oh yes, I am. I am about my ancestors and my spirituality, and that is my journey until the last breath in my body. Then once that happens, I'm going to be an ancestor, and that is what I've been trained to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm an Inyanga, which is in Zulu would be a shaman or a healer. I work with medicine, Buti, which is plants, and I really like to try to work with African plants, but since I'm in the U.S., it's really hard to get the African plants. It takes a while to get them from Africa, so I work with plants that are here too. I do bone readings, and I work with energy. I do Reiki, and I work with my ancestors. I do drumming, take people on journeys to their tribal lands. They meet their ancestors, and they come back with a gift or a message. It is a journey that, yes, like you said, you will sometimes walk alone. But, once you find your tribe and your like-minded people and gain your power, then you'll continually have someone to walk with to support you. I don't like the words when, you hear people saying the wounded healer. No, there's no wounded healer. You're a powerful healer. And we healers work with our shadows to heal ourselves in order to be strong, because that is our work, is to be healers. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, and we need our strength, because we have to go out here and help folks who are just naturally waking up, so to speak, because there's these massive awakenings that have been happening, like, well, probably before 2020, but that's just around 2020 and now, and a lot of folks are delving more into their their spiritual gifts, whatever they may be. And one thing I've learned is that you evolve, this spiritual, this thing we call spirituality. It's every day. It never shuts off. It never stops. It gets intertwined with, your it's I know your ancestry is encoded in your DNA. And I know that there are thousands of ancestors out there, the ones that are, in our corner, and for our good, and that give us the wisdom and the knowledge and the inspiration and the power, and the love, and especially the, and especially the protection. And what advice would you give somebody who is just waking up, and they're just stepping on the spiritual roller coaster, and they have like no idea, uh, you know uh, uh, about what's about to happen in their life?
The first thing I would say is they need to know how to make that connection with their ancestors. And the ancestors are, are in you. They're in your DNA. So sometimes people are looking for ancestors outside. Like, where are they? They're outside. Yes, they are outside, but they're in your DNA. So you need to connect with them. And there's certain ways that you connect with them and pull them and evoke them out. They're always there with you. They're around you all the time. But we have been trained in Western ways and behaviors, and so we have lost our gifts of sight and sound and a way of being. And so in order ancestors are speaking, in order to see your ancestors and communicate your ancestors, you need to connect with them. Ancestors are here to guide us. They're in that other realm. They see us. They can tell us about the past because they lived it. They see the future. They can guide you once you are able to call them in to you and bring them out and get your powers and learn your gifts. We all came through the world, through the womb. You've traveled through the wombs of many mothers, all the way back to the beginning of time when there was nothing but void, blackness. You've traveled through the wombs of these women, these powerful women that brought you here. You're coming down through you've been born several times, coming down, and now you're born. You came with a gift and a contract. You came with the power. The God, the creator, the he, she gave you, everybody, a gift. But what happened is you came, you picked up different ways, you lost your way, you lost your gift, you lost your power. It's still there. You got to send Copa and go back and get them, pick them up, learn your ways. Know your ancestors. And I'm not talking about ancestors that just transitioned maybe last year, the year before, or something like that. I'm talking about ancestors, your ancient ancestors, all the way back. Those are the ones that are there. Are they on your maternal side? Or those are the ones that are guiding you. Maybe they're on your paternal side. Maybe those are the ones that are guiding you. Maybe you've been here a different time. Maybe you've been a female, maybe you've been a male, maybe you've been something else. You will forever come back in this world until you get it right and until you know what you're here to do. You will keep coming back. Your soul, you may die, but you're going to keep coming back because I believe in reincarnation. You're going to come back until you get it right. We're all destined for something. We, as melanated people, are powerful people, but we've lost that power. and we have to get it back. We have to walk in our power. We have to be proud of what we are and who we are. We can't let nobody tell us that our spirituality is not any good. Why? Other people know it's good. Why don't we know it's good? Why don't we know our power? I mean, I get up every day and partner. Partner is a word meaning prayer. And I do it the African way. Oh my goodness, it's just powerful. I partner on the floor in my bare foot. That's how I was taught. I use the pebble that the ancestors use. You call them, they love it. They will come. They will come to you. They will show you your powers. You will see them. You will see your ancestors. You will feel them. It's an amazing, powerful experience. And yes, a lot of us are waking up. A lot of us are waking up. I was taught by a Sangoma who went all the way to Africa, did those rituals and did those initiations and came back, because now the Africans are teaching us, because we in the West need to teach the melanated people here, because we're waking up and we're knowing our power, and other people are coming on board and learning it. You can't learn from no books. People will say, "Come on, you shaman, come on, take this class." No, it takes a while. It takes a while. And people go over to Africa and come back and open up classes, but they're only teaching part of it. There's other parts that are missing. You can't be taught by everybody. Ancestors are bad too. There are some ancestors that you don't want to call in. So you need to know who you're talking to. Know how to call and connect with your ancestors.
Yeah, and that,
okay?
And thank you so much for.
The first way we do that is by partner, learning how to pray, learning how to pray the old way, learning the tools that you need. You need water, you need a cup, you need a candle, you need a mat. You need to incense to burn. You need to call and introduce yourself to your ancestors. I've had people say, I connect with my ancestors. I feel my ancestors. But you need to call them in and connect with them. Okay?
Right. I would always say my biggest thing is like going to the ocean and while and thank you for that. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Like while I'm there, you have the water, you have the wind, you have the sun, and you have the earth. So you have like all four of these natural elements, and really do believe that these things can be, let's say, utilized. And we need, as I would always tell people, we need all the power and the help that we can get. I often see people who may not, who may not look like me, calling in these things that people have told us, oh, that's evil, that's the devil, and so forth. And I'm like, well, if these folks are, tapping into it, like not even to its fullest, to its like fullest power, then imagine the true children of the of the storm of nature of melanated descent. Imagine if we and some of us are doing it, and there's so many stories out there that are probably not being told, and people who can do so many incredible things with this, like you said, this ancient knowledge, because we were the first in in everything. We were the first griots, the storytellers, and the mathematicians, and we were the creators. We gave the world wheel, and but our will in our minds and in our hearts and in our souls is we're trying to get some together them to turn, because ancestors have really put in a lot of work. It feels like they put in like, man, it feels like, thousands of years of work within the last maybe 2 years and some change for us to, even for you and I, just to be sitting on the stage on this app, just to have this converse, this conversation, or this discord for the people, so that they can, get this information, this knowledge, so that they can, either start waking up, continue to wake up, and continue to move forward. Like you said, we are, I always say, I know some of our ancestors were already here in the Americas, but I know that, some of our ancestors a lot of them came through the Middle Passage, and so now, like you said, we are finding out, we are true children of the diaspora, and so now we are, finding out who we are. The other folks don't want us to know who we are, but it's imperative now more than ever, because you see so much going on in the world, and this stuff is just going to continue to happen. And if you don't, if you don't see the if you don't see the writing on the wall, like now, it's now more than ever. It's definitely time to wake up. Mhm.
Yes, it is. I would advise people to also go to the water. I mean, water is healing. And when I mean water, I mean like go to the healing, living waters, like the rivers, the oceans, and make offerings into the water. Step into the water, let the water cleanse you. There's so many of our ancestors in the oceans that need to be healed, need to be free, need to be let go, so that they can go home, so that they can travel back to the realm, so that they can be with us. And so it's good to go to the waters and make an offering to them, put some flowers into the water, speak to the water, release them, let them go home. There's babies in there, there's women in there, they're all in the ocean waiting on us to come and honor them. And when you speak of African spirituality, you'll have people come up and say, oh,
Thank you. Oh, I think she has a phone call, but yeah, that's great advice. And you never know what can come, or what comes from that release. By releasing them, you probably, you definitely and indefinitely release so much, from yourself. Like every time I go to the rivers and the oceans, I feel so much power, and there's so much power within that nature, and there's just so much power that's cultivated within yourself. And I'm still I'm still human in a sense. I still worry about stuff, and we put in so much power and called in this and called in that, but the important thing is to know that, if you believe in it, your gift will, let's just say in the Bible, faith of a mustard seed. It's not a whole lot to invest within yourself, to invest within the belief of your journey, and the belief within everything that you have. We all believe in something different. It's okay. Everybody's mind might be cultivated a little different, but the important thing is just to know that you are someone that's gifted. That you are someone that's incredible, and you don't think the other folks don't know that. I'm sure they do. And you see all of these movies popping up. Everybody has superpowers. Everybody's traveling through time, the multiverse, and all of that stuff, man. Talking to your higher self, and just being able to just being able to move forward and do all of these great and incredible things, so to speak.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a young girl that's coming on. Can you bring her up? Her name is Pure. Do you see her down there?
Yeah, I see her.
Please bring her up on stage. Thank you. Hi, Pure. Hi, Dr. Small. How are you? I'm good. Takosa. Okay. So now I'll finish. So you want to go to the water. There's so many of our people in the water and release them. Bring them back. So water is very, very amazing. And when you open up a room like this, you need to cleanse this room. You need to open up your room with a ritual of a blessing so that negative energies won't come in and disturb us, because you're waking up, you're talking to your people, and there's other forces that don't want this message, this energy to get out. Does that make sense for you, okay?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I just, for me, I just come up with an idea, and I'm like, I don't really have a rhyme. I don't have like a time frame for it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just go live at like 8:30, and come up with an idea, and I just kind of go for it. But I mean, I know I'm always protected, but I get I hear what you're saying 100%. Because yeah, this information is very powerful. It's very nurturing, and it's it really helps people to cultivate through the madness that's happening in society or in their lives, and just to understand that there are people out there that are capable, that do care, and that actually, that aren't out here scamming people, that actually want to help folks.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a opening for the room and cleanse it.
Okay.
Okay. Calling on the ancestors, calling on the ancient ancestors, calling on my maternal side, calling on my ancient grandmother to come, stand with me, stand in this clubhouse, let all that's here touch each one singly, show them their gifts, show them their power, protect them, calling on my maternal ancestor, grandmother, walk with us, sit with us. Open our eyes, ears, open up our mouth. Create a portal where we can commune. Send blessings to this room. All that enter this room, let them leave with a blessing. Let them leave with power and strength and understanding. Ashe, Ashe. Okay, thank you, Takosa.
Yeah, thank you. That was powerful. I feel low. And Miss Heather down there says thank you also. Yeah, but I just say it's time. It's time for people to it's time for the what was I going to say? It's time for the gifted to be gifted. Because like you said, like what you just did was so powerful. What we are going to do moving forward is so powerful. Now is the time, is the calling, the timing of the coming together. So it is time for us to heed this call, It's time, if even if we don't work there, that's cool. Go out there and be amazing and be great and do what it is that that you've been called to do. This go around, because there's just so much to come. It's like the retrieval of the soul, the activation of the activation of the melanin. I also getting that all your energy at the time of the storm. The
Yes.
marketplace is wide open now. So go out, put your gifts. It's time for it's time to put your gifts out there. It's time for you to it's a resounding yes in everything that you're going to do moving forward. The connections have connections now. It is all connected. The realization of your greatest dreams, your triumph, everything. Your ancestors, they're saying we can't carry dead weight. You are alive. So you are our greatest masterpiece. So you've been cultivated to move forward, you are the mountains, you are the rocks. So you are the rocks, you are everything. In the
And you,
now. Go ahead.
and you speak of pure. She has a gift. She can tell you about her gift. Pure.
Oh, hi. Yes, hi. Oh, wow. My gift this year is a lot. It's different stuff, different things. It all depends. I'm like, every now and then, the ancestor will give me something else. They just throw it at me. But my my gift is healing. I have the healing gift, and I have a healing gift, and also intuitive, and um, the recent one I got, I realized that people like that passed and that didn't passed over, I had to help them to cross over. So that's the new one. So and there's more, and I can see stuff and I can feel stuff, and it's a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kai, what is your gift? Can I ask?
Like Pure said, I do. It. Oh my God. I hear, and I can, I can interpret people's dreams. I can see my ancestors. I can hear my ancestors. Greatly speaking things into existence. I can get messages. People, they call it water scrying, but get messages from the ocean. I've heard messages in lightning. They say capturing an idea with lightning in a bottle. I mean, literally, I feel like I really do feel like I've done that. So it's people call it mediumship, but it to me it goes so much more deeper than that. It goes beyond. I've traveled the what do they call it, astral projection. Traveling the stars and the cosmos, and help people cultivate and develop their spiritual gifts, to give them a greater understanding and a greater peace, just to know that that they are not alone. That they're definitely not alone within this journey. All said and done, I'll just always say, hey, I am my ancestors' wildest dream, because the gifts keep coming. I mean, some of the stuff, as you would probably know and attest to, there's no name for it. So to try to, it's just like Miss Heather would say, we get together and we do a thing for the good, because there's so much spiritually, and there's so much ancestrally that's given to us, and that now we're naturally standing on the shoulders of giants. By trade, I'm a writer and an author and a speaker. And I travel and all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we're all chosen, we're all special, and we're all powerful, and we have we have greater things to do out here. Hold on.
Can you invite my friend Ludia?
That's what I was gonna say. Can you bring to Ludia? Greetings.
Oh, hey, yeah, y'all were in the room yesterday. I remember for it was the International Women's Day. I remember that.
Thank you. Greeting, Grand Matriarch, Mother Goddess Ruthie. Greetings, Pure. Thank you for having me here, AKA, and everyone else in the room. God bless.
Ooh, man, what are you? Wow.
So, Akai, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you could just say Soul of a Man. That's cool. I kind of messed the name up when I was typing it in, and I don't have a way to go back and like when I'm doing my videos, I'll say, hey, this is Damon Alvarez, aka Soul of a Man 504. So the AKA kind of got whatever. But yeah, you could just Soul of a Man or Soul. That's cool.
Okay, but I think you said something like at the end of the day. I can't remember how you said it, but I wanted to say that we have our powers from the beginning. I mean, from the beginning, we've always had powers. All of us have
Very true.
Powers. Come with powers. We are created for a purpose, and I don't believe in heaven or hell or the devil or any of that. I do not prescribe to that. I subscribe to my African spirituality, and I don't subscribe to people saying that we worship our ancestors. No, we don't worship our ancestors. We know that there is a God, but we honor our ancestors, and that's what you want to make sure that other people are saying to you, and you want to make sure that it's clear. I was in a workshop clubhouse with Pure, and she stayed on her path with this one person. She told him that she was honoring her ancestors, and I like that spirit that she had, and that's the spirit we as melanated people need to have. We need to make them rewrite that story that they have put out about us. We honor our ancestors. It is because of our ancestors that each and every one of you is on this stage in this clubhouse. If they had not have sacrificed, if they had not gone through the things that they had gone through, so that the generation after them and the generation after them brought you here. And so we need to be and stand in our powers and our gifts. We need to know what our gifts are, and we need to not just talk about gifts. We need to put our gifts into action.
I have a friend. If you want to come up on stage, he's from Ghana, and he has his own. You could invite him up on stage.
Can you invite Evans on stage for us, if you don't mind?
Yep. Wait. Let me see. Yeah, I sent him the invite. Let me see if he's gonna.
Go ahead, guys. I'm really listening.
Other. Wait.
Good morning, everyone. At the time. How are you guys doing today? I have a question to you all, if that's okay.
It's okay with me.
Okay. How do you, on a personal level, not too deep, of course, go about honoring your ancestors? And I ask this question because I agree with you when it comes to honoring your ancestors and not worshiping them, because I think some people get that completely confused. Like, completely confused.
Okay. I can tell you how I worship them. This is his clubhouse, and he can tell you how he worships them. And so, I don't know who wants to speak first.
The floor is open. The floor is yours.
Okay, so the way that I worship, the way that I honor my ancestors is so if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to lay it all out. So I'm just gonna lay it all out. I'm sorry, I'm in Texas, and whenever somebody kidnaps a kid or something, they put a thing on our phone. So I'm gonna lay it all out to you guys how I honor my ancestors, the tools and the things that you will need to do it the right way. Now, you can do it your way or you can do it this way. I have a mat, a straw mat. The straw mat that I got came from Africa, but you can get a mat, a long horizontal mat. It's just a horizontal mat, something that you can use on the floor. And you will not put your foot on it, you will not walk on it, you will not sit on it. You will kneel in front of the mat. And on the right side of you, you're sitting facing the mat, and on the right side of you, you're going to have a white candle. And in that candle is going to be in a jar or something that won't drip wax on your mat and cause a fire. So you're going to either have it sitting in something or on a plate. In the center of you, you will have a cup of water, and the cup will not have a handle on it. It's just a cup that you can cup your hands around and lift it up. And then on the left side of you, you'll have a little plate. I have a little cast iron skillet that looks like it can fit in the palm of my hand. And I have impepo. And impepo is what I put in that cast iron skillet to burn. Then I have snuff. Snuff. When I say stuff, I mean the kind of stuff that men or women will go by and they put it in their mouth and they chew it and spit. Well, we use snuff. So you would introduce yourself to your ancestors. And there is a ritual and a thing that you say to call in your ancestors. You only have to do it once. Once you do it once, you have already called them into you. You have introduced yourself to them. And now you want to speak to them. So the next time you come and do your potluck or your prayer, you just begin to pray. But the first initial time, you need to introduce yourself to your ancestors. So after your introduction, you would do it in this order. You would light your candle. You would already have water in that cup. So you light the candle first. Then you go over and light your impepo. The impepo smoke must burn white. It burns white. Then you take your snuff, and you only take a pinch of it, and you sprinkle it all around the impepo, all around the cup of water, all around the candle on your mat. And then you begin to introduce yourself and to potluck and pray. And then you would do this every day on a daily basis on your time, whenever time you want to. I do it in the morning when I first wake up. I do it during the day if I'm home. I do it whenever I need to speak with my ancestors and give them honor and ask them for guidance and prayer. And that's how I do it. And that is the Zulu traditional way that they do it. And if you don't, I like Impepo. If you don't have Pepo, you have to use what you have. So, and Impepo, when you burn Impepo, you burn it on your knees or sitting on the floor. Impepo is not to be burned standing up. It is not for smudging. We don't smudge with Impepo. Other cultures smudge with sage or Palo Santo, and they do it standing up. We use Impepo on our knees and not for saging the body. It is for calling in your beloved ancestors, because one day, hopefully, all of us that are on the stage will be ancestors. Some of us will be ancestors that have gone to the higher realm, and some might be ancestors that are just in the realm of the walking. You haven't quite elevated up. Some of us, and all of us have ancestors that maybe have not elevated up. Those are the ones that we need to heal, find out why they're still walking and here. Those are the ones that we need to heal and help them elevate up. Any questions about how to worship? Honor your ancestors. That it would be how you would do it. If you don't have anything, have snuff, have a candle, have water. If you don't have any Impepo, have the snuff. It calls them. They love it. I love Impepo. It smells incredible. Once you use Impepo, you won't want to go to anything else. Any questions?
I feel like this is a master class. I'm just here taking notes. Like, for real.
Did that answer your question?
I'm just
yes, actually, it definitely answered my question. Thank you.
Evan, do you want to answer this question? Because you're in Africa, and I don't know if it's the same way you guys do it in Africa. I would like to hear what you have to say too. What's her name? Heather?
It's Heather.
Actually, I didn't join you guys early. I didn't join you guys early. But can you reframe the question to me?
I just asked, what are ways that you all honor rather than worship your ancestors?
Okay. Usually, where I come from, Volta region in Ghana, that's the Ewe tribe. Sometimes they do pour libation. They pour libation with alcohol, and they used to venerate their ancestors through that medium. So I'm here to learn. I want to learn a lot. So if there are ways I can learn how to communicate with my ancestors, I'll be very grateful.
Okay. The way I communicate with my ancestors is different ways. Different ways. I just go into meditation, and I just go into a deep meditation, and most of the time I'm in a certain spot in my house, and I will probably, in my meditation, I will like burn a little sage or a smug or whatever. But I never did it like the way Ruti do, so I'm gonna probably do it like the way Ruti do. And when I go in that deep meditation, I tend to hear a lot, and they talk to me, and stuff need to be done, and it's different ancestors in different dimension, and you would surprised to know. And I don't want to scare anybody, but our ancestors are in high places, different dimension. Angels, the ancestors are what everybody else called angel, but to us is our ancestors. You cook food, all depends on what your ancestor like. It all else I had to give her. And she loves coconut, so I have to buy the coconut and I have to cut the coconut. Then I have to use a red candle for her. And that was a while back. Because I remember when I was sick, she came to me like she was coming from a village in Africa. And I was so sick. I was actually on a job I never forget. I think it was 2010. And this girl did not like me. She did not like me because my boss loved me. Oh my God, she got me so sick. I was so sick. And I came home and I went to bed. And I was actually, I just closed my eyes and I saw this lady coming over my stairs with this basket on her head. She was in blue and white and her head was wrapped in blue and she was coming over my stairs. And she told me there's a place I was supposed to go to get my head better because I go to many doctors and I couldn't get better. They said they don't see anything wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. And I remember she told me where to go to buy to get the stuff for my head. And that's where I went. I went to some botanica place and I went in there and I tell the lady what was wrong with my head. And she gave me something. I remember, I think it was like some, I don't know what it was. And she told me to tie my head. It was so weird. She told me to tie my head in blue. I think I tied my head in blue or white. I forgot what she told me to do. But it was this white lady though. She know her stuff. She's my good friend now. And I told her that my ancestor in Africa dreamt me and tell me where to go to get my headache away. And that's how I was healed from my headaches. And let me tell you something. My ancestors, they don't play. If you mess with me, you're going to be in big trouble. They will really hurt you. So this is why I always felt bad for people. If they really mess with me, sometimes I will talk to them and say, don't do that. And it's so funny. I was at work and there was this, it's always my job. I always have problem on my job with my coworkers. And I remember this girl, she didn't like me again. And then I was driving home from work, and then like one of my ancestors said, I'm gonna hurt her if she don't stop messing with you. And I said, oh no, don't do that. The Monday morning, the girl, she fell at work and she broke her leg. And I always said I tell my ancestors, they're from Africa. I think they're from Ghana. And they have big butts, because every time I see that they have big butts, nice shape, and strong women. But they will fight a battle for me any minute. And that's the way my family, even my living family, that's the way they are, especially the women in my family. The same personality my ancestors have, this is the same personality my family has. As soon as they say something happened, they all will come and they will beat your butt. And that's the same way. So the ancestor is in us as people. You know what I'm saying? They're in us. And if you call out to them, they will help you. But because we're so brainwashed and we always like, people always telling us, oh, that's, it's ghosts, and they paint us as that. So, but believe in your ancestors. You're not worshiping. Never pray to your ancestors, because your ancestors are not God, but they're here to help you.
I wanted to say something about ancestors. Okay, so when I honor my ancestors and ask them for guidance and power and to show me my gift, my ancestors, mine, are not for hurt. They don't come to hurt. They come to guide. They come to show me my powers, and they show me my gifts. I was taught that if you use your powers for wrong, for doing evil, it'll come back on you. It'll come back on you. You have to be careful what ancestors you call, what spirits you call. You want to increase your powers. You want to do powers for good. I don't call on my ancestors to hurt anybody. I call on my ancestors for the guidance of my people, for the guidance of my strength. You have to understand in your DNA, you may have ancestors of a different color. We're all connected. And ancestors, and the reason why I say that, the way I was taught that is during colonization, you know, you may have ancestors that have mixed into your bloodline. And so those may be white ancestors by commerce, by work, by how we had to work in cotton and how we had to do other things, how we have been made it. And so you may have ancestors of different colors in your bloodline, in your DNA. Those ancestors need to be healed. They need to be healed because of the hurt, of the damage. They need to be healed. So I don't call on my ancestors to hurt. I call on my ancestors for power, for my gifts, and to heal. I am a healer, and that's what I want to be. That is my calling. I mean, if you've been asleep and you wake up at night, and I say this over and over again, and you constantly are waking up, you can't get back to sleep. You don't know what's bothering you, but you're waking up and you just can't get back to sleep. Your ancestors are calling you. They're calling on you. They're saying, no, you're not sleeping. I need your help. And so we need to not do bad. We need to do good. There's so many of our people that need to be healed. I get so tired of hearing people saying the wounded people are wounded. Yes, we all have drama and trauma and a story to tell. We need to heal each other. And healing doesn't come overnight. I mean, you just can't go to someone and say, heal me. Boom, you're healed. No, it takes a long time to heal. And you're going to get hurt all through your lifetime. Healing continues. Healing continues. You have to do your shadow work. I mean, in some tribes of Africa, they will leave you in the dark. I mean, I tried to do it myself. Just go sit in a room with no light, no sound, dark, total darkness. Darkness so thick you can feel it. Then you will deal with yourself. You will deal with your shadow. You don't want to be a wounded healer. You want to be a strong and powerful healer. You want to be healed. You heal yourself. You heal your generations that were after you. You heal your generations to come. That's what I have to say about ancestors. My ancestors are for the healing. My ancestors are for the healing of our people. Our people have been just wounded and brainwashed and wounded. And there is an awakening coming. You can feel it. It is coming. It is going to occur. It may not occur in my lifetime, but I am going to be here to continually go forward to that awakening. But we have to be awakened the right way. The right way. We have to understand our knowledge. We have to understand who we are being taught from. You know, there's a lot of things out there that are teaching us, that are not the right way. You know, and so Africa, you see things on Africa about being poor and all like that. Oh, please go to Africa and see some of the beautiful things that are out there. You only see what they're trying to show you. Africa is beautiful. When you go there, you are whole. It is so awesome to put your foot on that land. And anybody that says they're not African and are melanated, I don't know what to say. They're of African descent. And it is in your DNA. It is in you. You feel when the drums sound. When you hear the sound of the drums, your DNA just wakens up. I don't care if you're from Jamaica, Ghana, Nigeria, wherever, the Congo, wherever, the drum, it awakens you. It's in you. It's in your DNA. And you need to honor those ancestors. Honor them. That's all I have to say.
Oh, Ruthie, please, you have so many wisdom. I wish to learn a lot from you. So please, I'm gonna follow you. So please, kindly follow me back, because I really want to connect with my ancestors. There are lots happening down here in Africa, and we need the help of the ancestors. For knowledge, how to develop our land. Because we've been to a mess. We've been to a hell. So please, I really want to learn a lot from you as to how to connect to my ancestors.
Okay. If you just back channel me and how I can get in touch with you, I will. Makof. Any questions? I'm sorry, Akai. I didn't mean to take over.
Nah, you're good. Hey, look, I'm just a vessel.
Thanks. Peace and love, lineage. So in the room, thank you, Akai, for inviting me to be on the panel and to speak with you all, Mother Ruthie, Pure, Tilty, Heather, Evina, Evans, and everybody in the room. Always love and wholeness vibrations. I just wanted to share some things with regards to what our sister Pure was saying. I can relate. I'm just going to say this off the bat. I don't have a father in the physical. Never know my father. I don't have any brothers and I don't have any sisters. Okay, it's just myself and my mother. I have aunties and uncles and quite a large extended lineage, but it's just me and my mom, myself from her womb. My ancestors will step in. I don't ask them to do but I always, it comes to my awareness when ancestors have stepped in and interceded on my behalf to bring about a level of correction to ones who do harm to me, who intend harm towards me. When you have such a loving spirit and a helpful spirit and you're willing to help people so much and they do wrong to you, uncalled for, right? They intercede. And it's unfortunate for those who throw arrows unexpectedly at once. But we are surrounded by sacred mirrors and those arrows bounce off and our ancestors do intercede on our behalf. So I can relate with what you said, Pure. Also, in addition to that, a lot of the beings out there, like for instance, a lot of our Orisha and our Loar, they were not all balanced. Some of them are very bloodthirsty. So we have to be careful with our intention and our minds. Like Mama Ruthie said, what we are asking of our ancestors. But that's quite different to the benevolence of the all-seeing realms when they intercede on one's behalf. In addition, also, your head wrapping. In Ifa, we have a process we call rogacion in Cuba, and in Isheshe, we will say ibori. This is basically an offering to your head. We say ori. So ori is many definitions of the word. First accepted definition of ori is literally your head. So you will see Africans when they praise and they're holding their head. It's a special appellation of praise that you do to one's head, because your head needs to be aligned. So we'll say ori, excuse me, your ori days, that's your head. Then you have your ori enu, which is your inner heart, mind, yeah? And then you have your ori itonri, which is your higher self, mind, the part of you that never left the heavens when you came on this journey down to the marketplace. So your ori ide, your head, needs to be in alignment with your ori enu and your ori itonri. And that is the journey towards when people have consultation or sit on the mat to consult with Iba or consult with another diviner. you're really consulting your higher self. But the practitioner, the priest or the priestess, has the ability to communicate with those realms to bring you the messages from your higher self. So in situations where we're experiencing a lot of headaches and things like that, give thanks for your guidance, because you were guided to propitiate your ori, to propitiate your head. This can be done in many ways, very simple ways. Simply wetting your head every rising and giving thanks for your head, for your being, and letting the water touch your crown. Okay, so you go from the front, from your first eye, and you would rub the water all the way to the base of your neck, to your crown. Right? That's a simple offering. You can do a simple offering with honey and gin. Right? You could even, if you know how to cast cowrie shells, or you know how to cast, or if you know how to do any divination with your tarot cards, if you devise the way to use your tools to get yes and no answers, you can ask, what does my head want today? What does my head need? You're feeling a bit hot-headed, maybe you need to wrap with a white cloth. Maybe you need to appease a butterman, or just to cool down your head a little bit, or somebody's sending negative energy towards you. Maybe you need to pet your head. So there's many reasons why we propitiate our head, but it's something that everybody can do. You don't have to go to a spiritualist to have this done. It's something that in this time, I'm really encouraging everyone, tap into your divinity. Learn to hear your own inner voice. Like Mama Ruth said, go in the quiet place, go to the still, quiet place and listen, tune in, and receive the sacred wisdom from your higher self and from our ancestors. We should all try to offer our head, even like I said, the water every day, every rising when you wake up, you give thanks, because the other definition of head or ori is destiny. And so in the tradition, it said that we all come with a purpose. And so by holding your head and propitiating your head, aligning yourself with your destiny and asking for the sacred codes of why you came into these realms to be shown and revealed to you. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And thank you always. I'm really loving the rooms that
Can I say, piggyback on what you just said?
Yes, ma'am.
So I agree with you about the Ori and Ifa and all that. I agree with you. Even in the Zulu tradition, we have to wear, when we do our patla and prayer, we must cover our heads. We wear the white and we cover our heads. So I agree with you with that. And I also want to make that I try to mix spirituality. So like if I'm following the Zulu tradition, I won't mix Ifa or Yoruba. I will, or Bandan. I will set my path, my journey on the one that is for me. So
yes,
I want to make sure that everybody knows that they have to find their own path and their own journey. And so I agree with you 100% about that. And when you're offering libations and liquor and alcohol to your ancestors, you need to know what your particular ancestors in your particular spiritual group is wanting. And then that's what you would offer them. So yes, being respectful. I have an ensemble room. That is a whole room that I use for prayer. And I agree with you. You need a private place, a place that you can pray. And I have my altar there, and you can serve them food and all that. That is just a beautiful way that we all need to go back and do that. We need to pick up these ways. These are rituals. Rituals should be a daily thing that we do. I mean, the black men have been doing rituals for the longest. When they say, pour a little bit out for the homies, that's a libation. That's a ritual. And they pick that up. That's an African way. And like I say, we all have this in our DNAs. We have Ifa, we have Yoruba, we have Bandan, which the Europeans will call voodoo. And they will make you think that voodoo is evil. And you'll begin to say those things. Oh, voodoo is evil. I'm going to put some voodoo on you. I'm going to put a curse on you. We need to stop saying that.
Absolutely.
Yes, we need to stop
goodness.
saying the negative things about our power.
So true, though.
So I agree with you on being respectful and coming and honoring your head. All that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. I was just gonna say because I was still adding to that which the richness of what you had given to us as well. But just to really highlight a very sacred truth that the spiritual elements in nature are in nature first and foremost. So the beings that we call upon, for instance, Oshun, Yemoja, Ogun, Olokun, Eshu, all of these elements, they're elements in nature first and foremost. Because when the planes were created, nature was created before this form was created. So these elements and these beings, they're nature first and foremost. In being that they are nature, they are global. It's just that because of language, we have different names for calling on different beings. But in that they are nature, they are everywhere. And they are accessible to everyone. So that's why sometimes things seem like they're mixing, but really, when it comes to nature beings, they just are. When it comes to one's ancestors, that's your particular ancestral lineage. Now, with regards to that also, many of us in diaspora, we have been mixed a lot. There are no pure bloods on the planet. Everybody out here is a hybrid, right? So let's just squash all of that, right? The earth, the eons and eons and eons of this earth's existence. When we look at Table Mountain is a big tree. When we look at Devil's Tower in the state, that's a big tree. There were giant trees that were cut down to hide the truth of how ancient this planet really is. Okay? There have been melanated people everywhere. We are not all out of Africa. When you go back to time immemorial, there have been melanated people everywhere. There are people in the Americas who can testify they have never left. Their ancestors never left. Their ancestors have never seen the continent of Africa, for lack of a better word, like Kebulon, Merita, Tamare. We have been everywhere. So this is what we do when we want to, like I said, we've been mixed. So in my bloodline, I can't separate myself from my Yoruba heritage or from my Taino and Arawak heritage. It's impossible. Just in the same way, somebody who is born in the United States, they may have a mixture where they have maybe Nigerian or Congolese or Ethiopian or wherever on the continent they may have, but then they may also have Choctaw, or Cherokee, or Seneca. These are tribes and lineages of people who have never left the Americas. The Americas from the north to the south and her islands, central, the ancient islands of Atlantis. Our people have never left. So these are the eruditions that we need to come forward to understand who we are. Have a level of love and respect for all of the planet. Because there has been a great divide. There's been a lot of deception. But we're in the healing times. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the time of truth. And the blaze and light of the truth is what's going to purify our hearts and enable us to rise in our divinity to be gods and goddesses living in these planes. Thank you very much.
I agree. I agree with you. I think we need a healing and we need to call on our ancestors. We need to honor our ancestors. That is the only way we need to accept and gain our power and our gift. We need to utilize our gift. We are all over this world and we need to connect. We need to source our DNA. We need to learn our rituals. We need to know our mores, we need to know our way of being. We need to be proud of our brothers and sisters. We don't need to knock each other. We need to love each other. We should not try to be jealous of one another. We don't need to compete with one another. We are complete with each other. Our men need to go back and Sankofa back and see how the old ways women were honored, men were revered and powerful. They took care of their women and their children, even if they had more than one wife, more than one. They were all connected. We need to go back and pick up our old ways and not pick up these ways that are here that are not good for us. Learning how to be proud in our hair. Even in our hair is gorgeous in its natural state. Your skin is powerful in its natural state. I had a doctor tell me, and I as old as I am, I've never been sick. I had a doctor tell me, people with melatonin heal quick. They knew the power of us. We need to know our own power. Our own power. We need to teach our children. Children are powerful. They see spirits and things. I mean, in some parts of Africa, to go and speak to the spirit, the elders go where the children are. They're around the children. We need to teach our children not to be afraid of spirits and things. We're just awesome in all our different spiritualities, be it Ifa, Bandan, Yoruba, Zulu tradition, all of that. I mean, when you think about the Zulu warriors, when the British came over there to take them and fight them, they fought to the last drop. The British were scared of them, and the British had the guns. But they chanted their war songs, their power. They moved together as a unit of people. We are a powerful people. And it breaks my heart when I see that we don't understand the gifts that were given to us.
Yep. And I just want to thank everybody for for coming in, giving the wisdom, speaking their truth power. Please follow everybody on stage, and this will be up on the replay. Just go to my profile. But yeah, again, I am honored and humbled to just to be up here with everybody. And didn't think it was gonna go like this, but hey, like I said, I'm just a vessel. I just create these rooms kind of randomly, and I'm a firm believer that it all happens for a reason, and it all happens in seasons. And we are people who use our seasons and our spice in our food. So it's time for us to start using that on our journeys and within ourselves, and everything that you speak into existence, and over, not just for yourself, but over generations or lifetimes. But with that, again, Miss Ruthie, Pure, Tahuti, Heather, Evina, Evans, I don't want to pronounce your name. Just say Madam O. Thank y'all so much for for coming and joining, and hope that this isn't the last. I'm sure this won't be the last time. I know words are powerful, and I try to use my words very, very wisely. So I know we're this was purpose and positioned and powerful and destined, and so this is so as above, so below. So are we. And just want everybody to have a great day. Again, please follow everybody in here, and I am going to go and shut the room down. Any closing remarks from anyone?
Thank you for having this space. I guess I finally got to see you in another space. Peace to everyone in here.
Anybody? Cool. Nope, that's it. All right. All righty, folks. And as I always say, we are out. Wait, go ahead. Okay. Thank you.
I want to thank you again for adding me to the panel. And I'm sure when I see the good discussions popping up, I will be sure to forward and to just be in that reciprocation of shining of light. Love to you all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me on the stage, and thank you to Pure, Akai, Heather, Ivina, Evans, and Osumia. I thank you. I honor you guys.
Sorry, Mom. Can I just ask again the pronunciation? It's Oshuniohun. Yeah, Mom. Oshuniohun. It means there's two translations. Oshun has something special, or the essence of Oshun.
Okay.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Love.
Love you. And all to the people on the that are listening, blessings and love to all of you.
All right, folks, as I always like to say, we are out this piece. If you guys want to go back and check out the replay, please do. Some powerful stuff that was information that was given out. Great transference of energy up here. As always, folks, we out this piece. Peace.